Welcome to another edition of Cycle Life. In studio with me is Nadine Visagie. She is the studio manager and trainer at Cyclezone. Welcome.
Thank you.
Please tell me about Cyclezone. What is it all about?
Well, we're an indoor power training facility and high performance center. So we do performance testing. We've also got a strength and conditioning studio that we've just started up. But mostly our focus is on power training. So we've got a bunch of indoor trainers and 2 banks, compu trainers that we use. So our clients come in and it's all software controlled. So they don't have to shift gears or change levers or resistance or anything. And everything is based on the performance in the FTP test, the functional threshold power fitness test that we do when they start with us.
All right. So just give me a brief summary. As a client, I walk into the store, what happens?
So firstly, you need to do a fitness assessment, the functional threshold power test that I mentioned. So we start with a body composition analysis to see, in terms of fat percentage, skeletal muscle, and so forth. And then we do a little warm-up, and then you do a 20-minute flat-out time trial on the bike. So we try and push you to your absolute maximum so we can determine what your average power output is for that duration. And then in cycling, basically with power cycling, everything's divided up into 7 zones. So obviously the first zone would be your active recovery and the last zone is your sprint zone, but we focus on zone 2 to 6 in the studio. So you basically book any class that you want to book, depending on what zone you want to train in, and all our classes are based on that FTP. A percentage of that FTP then determines how hard you're training or in which zone you're participating in.
So would this sort of training be limited to only professionals?
Look, we've catered for everything from people just wanting to get fit and try and get into training up to elite level cyclists. It is hugely, it was only available to elite level trainers, for years. The compu training has only been used by people that are really serious about their training. But I think a lot of amateur people have caught on to this new method of training. It's been very successful in the US so far. And it's spread, there are kicker studios opening up right across the world. We've got watt bike studios, compu trainer studios, cycle up studios. So it's quite well known now.
Primarily indoor and outdoor?
A lot of it's indoors. I think the competition's getting quite strong. I don't think, I think those days of just rocking up at a race, not being well prepared or doing any kind of structured training are over. If you don't prepare properly, you're not going to be ready to compete at the level you want to compete at.
Now let's take this to the upcoming Juma event, 2016. How did you guys get involved with them?
We've had some of the guys in the studio to come and do fitness testing and show some of the footage in the studio. So we were at the first event, not as a representative. I just participated in the event and I really enjoyed it. And I met up with them and they said, we could maybe do some form of a partnership where the guys can come and get fit in the studio, watch the video footage to prepare themselves mentally and physically for the event. And then at the event, we're obviously going to support our riders and our clients that are participating.
That's great. What does this sort of event mean for Cyclezone? Or I should better say, what does it mean for you as a participant?
Well, it's quite unique. I mean, there's nothing else that I've ever heard of that's got the scaffolding and the bridges they've put up in the storm drains. So it's quite exciting. It's a really fun technical ride. Personally, I prefer technical riding to dirt road riding. So for that's the kind of mountain biking that I really enjoy. And I think the fact that it's so close to the studio and a lot of people in this area enjoy riding in the Spruit, it's sort of their backyard. It's quite nice to all get together and have a nice event in the Spruit,
So moving forward, Cyclezone, what are your plans?
Like I mentioned before, we've got our strength and conditioning studio, so we would like a holistic approach in terms of training. So if you, for example, walk into the door, we would like a biokineticist to do an assessment to see where you've got imbalances or issues. From there, you can address it. So we do power training, not only on the bike, but also plyometrics and strength training in the conditioning studio. Obviously, we're catering for all your cycling needs. We also do personalised coaching. We've also got a dietitian on board. So we're basically looking at every single aspect that needs to be looked at. Whether you, doing it for competitive reasons or whether you just want to be healthy, we're basically catering for all those aspects.
Well, Ms. Nadine, thank you very much for being on the show. All the best.
It's a pleasure.